Hi everybody, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to be going over my January TBR. Can we believe it's time for this already? I know I can't. 2022 just flew right on by, and may I just tell everybody that I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday, that you got to spend time with family and loved ones, friends, I hope you all had a very, very good time, because we are about to head in to a new year, new opportunities to grow, new chances to shine, a way to reinvent ourselves. And I personally am really, really looking forward to it. And I am going to start that journey with my January TBR. I just can't believe that it's time for this already. I have some reading goals that are very, very important to me. I want to be more versatile. I used to be very, very versatile with my reading. And then when I got sick, I kind of went on this binge of mostly thrillers. I mean, I do still read other things on occasion, but I want to do so more often. So I'm really, really looking forward to this chapter, hoping to expand my reading tastes once again the way that they used to be, and just take care of some things that I've wanted to get to for eons. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I will be reading in January, and I am super stoked for, is the first book in the Dark Tower series by Stephen King, The Gunslinger. The Dark Tower series is very, very, very popular. It's very critical to his work. And as anybody knows that has been around my channel for a while, you'll know that I really enjoy Stephen King for the most part. There's been a couple here and there that I haven't been crazy about, but overall, I've really enjoyed the majority of his work, but I never got to the Dark Tower series. And here's why. Every time I got ready to start this series, somebody would be telling me, oh, well, before you read The Dark Tower, you need to read The Stand. Before you read The Dark Tower, you need to read Insomnia. Before you read The Dark Tower, you need to read The Talisman, Black House. It seemed like this list of requirements before I even jumped into the series got longer and longer and longer. And I was trying to abide by that, for a while, and it just kept pushing back the actual series. Some of the books that I was told to read before the Dark Tower series, I did not actually enjoy. So that kind of put me off. I was like, oh, I didn't like this, so I'm probably not going to like that. And it's like, for example, Insomnia, that's one of my least favorite Stephen King books. I didn't care for that at all. And I heard from several different sources that I needed to read that first. So I had convinced myself that I wasn't going to like The Dark Tower because I didn't like Insomnia. And then on the flip side of that, another big one was The Stand. The Stand is one of Stephen King's biggest works. It's like most people consider it his masterpiece. And I have tried to read that book so many times and I can't get through it. And so that was another one that I was just kind of like, oh, I'm not going to like this. But, it finally hit me like an epiphany about a month ago. I was like, there's a reason that this series is so beloved. He's a very talented writer. And it's my understanding that it's kind of more sci-fi-esque, which I don't typically follow sci-fi very closely. And like I said, I'm wanting to expand my horizons a little bit more. So this seemed like a good way to do that. Do an author that I already find tested and true, and dip my toes into another genre with somebody I already like in other things. So I got to thinking about it, and I was just like, if those books were all so critical to the series, they would be a part of the series, and they're not. So I'm thinking that there's probably little things in those books that tie into the series and like make more sense or whatever. But I'm really thinking now that it can't be that necessary to read them first. I hope that I don't shoot myself in the foot with that statement, but I'm tired of waiting to read The Dark Tower because everybody loves it. And I want to jump into it. I want to vlog my experience reading the series and share it with everybody. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started with it, with the first book, The Gunslinger. I really don't know that much about the series. I have been very successful so far, somehow, in keeping myself in the dark. Like, somebody starts talking about it in a video, I click off of it. If it starts to sound too spoilery, I know a couple of characters' names. And I know that this one's supposedly the weakest one, but that is all that I know. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that I'm going to be going into it blind, and I'm just really, really excited for this journey. Okay, the next book that I will be reading in January is In My Dreams, I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. This was very, very big in 2022, and I held off reading it because of the hype, and I waited until it died down and I wasn't hearing as much about it, which is kind of about now. I wanted to read it in December initially, but then I decided I was going to read all Christmas books in December, so that ended up not happening. But this is going to be one of the first books that I read in January because I've been invested in this for a very long time, and it was a wonderful early Christmas present from my sister. Thank you so much, sis. I'm so excited for this, and I'm glad I get to get started on it so early in the year. But this book, my understanding is it's kind of a dark academia because we're following dual timelines between present day and college days, and a murder. It sounds a lot like The It Girl by Ruth Ware that actually came out last year as well. And I really, really enjoyed that, but I've also read a lot of Ruth Ware, and I like her style in general. I've never read any of Ashley Winstead, so I really don't know how to feel about this one just yet. I know I'm excited though because everybody was talking about it, so like there's got to be a good reason. So I want to see what the big deal is about and see if I have found myself a new favorite author. And the next book that I will be reading this month is The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapena. And this kind of seems like a domestic thriller that's kind of centered in a neighborhood. We're following the parents of this new baby, and they go next door to a dinner party, leaving the baby alone. Something happens either with the baby or with the dinner party. I've never really heard which one, and now the parents are under this wave of suspicion, and like this dark past is revealed. It sounds really cool, and it sounds like all the dark secrets are coming out. It sounds fun and interesting, and I can't wait to get into this one. I haven't heard as much about this one as I have a lot of Shari Lapena's other work, so I'm hoping that's not a bad sign. I'm hoping that mean, I would think that if it was like bad, people would be bashing it, and I haven't heard bashing, but I haven't heard praise either. So it's kind of like, I don't know what to expect, but I've liked some of her other stuff, so I think it'll be all right. Okay, next up, I plan on reading the next 2 books in the Throne of Glass series, and this will get me all caught up on where I have previously landed in my reads. This is a Throne of Glass reread. I got about halfway through the series before. I wasn't really following the storyline very well. I couldn't remember a lot of the characters and what was going on, so I got to a point where I was lost and confused, and that was mostly because I had waited too long in between reading each book. So a couple months back, I had decided to start rereading them, but reread them closer together so that I don't lose track of all of this information and see if I can enjoy my experience a little bit more. And now I'm going to be at the point after reading Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows, I think. After reading Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows, I'm going to be caught up on where I had previously been, and then I can move forward with the rest of the series. So far, I think this was a very good idea. When I read Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Assassin's Blade in November, I think it was in November, I really enjoyed reading those back to back. It was more consistent, more cohesive. I was more invested in the characters. And now that we're starting to get up into some of the longer books with Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows, I am expecting that it will be similar and that reading it so close after those is going to be very beneficial to me, and I'm really hoping that I enjoy the rest of the series, because up to this point I have been having a lot of fun, and I'm so glad that I decided to do this. The next book that I will be reading in January is The Whisper Man by Alex North. This is a horror book, and it sounds very intriguing. We have a family that is moving for a fresh start. I'm not really sure what they need a fresh start from, but apparently they need a fresh start. And they moved to a town where years before a series of murders had occurred, and the perpetrator was caught, but he had been called the Whisper Man because he tended to lure his victims by whispering at their windows at night. That leads me to believe that his prey was children. Because what adult is going to go to the window if somebody's whispering at it? You know what I mean? But when they arrive to this town, apparently the crimes have restarted. And so it's like they don't know if it's a ghost, the ghost of the man who did it before, or if it's a copycat. It sounds really intriguing and unique, and I am just very interested to see how this one goes. It sounds super creepy, and we all know how much I love that. So that is just some of the books that I am planning on getting to in January. I will probably get to more. I just don't want to commit to too much in a TBR. It's one of my New Year's resolutions because I got into a bad habit of making a long list that I couldn't stick to, and really burning myself out at certain points throughout the year. So I'm trying to stop doing that. So it's like these books I'm fairly confident that I can get to, but I'm sure I will get to more. These are just kind of top priority for me. And I will, of course, update you if I do get to more. But that's just kind of like my starter TBR for the month. That is all that I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, follow me on the social medias, click that bell if you want to be notified of all of my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!